Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our Check You Later PowerUp presentation. We are going to be going over the check-in module, which does have the long-awaited enhancement of the checkout feature. So I think at this time it's about time that we get started. So let's take a look at our agenda, what we're going to be talking about today. I'll introduce our presenter, and then we'll get started. So with that said, what's on our agenda? Well, we love keeping things nice and simple here at RecDesk. So we're only going to talk about the ins and outs of check-ins and checkouts. Basically, if you're new to the check-in module, maybe kind of seeing this new enhancement that's come into the system has you interested in using the check-in module, we're going to have a really nice primer at the beginning about what is capable inside of the check-in module, as well as going into all of the great details that have been added for this new checkout enhancement. Who's going to be covering this information, you ask? Well, this is our team for today. My name is Nick, and I'm a customer success manager here at RecDesk, but more importantly for today, I am your moderator. So I will be keeping an eye on the Zoom chat box below if you happen to have any questions for our wonderful presenter, the champion of all things checkout. And that is none other than herself, Jen Vogt, who, when she is not being the awesome champion that she is of the checkout feature, she manages technical support and QA here at RecDesk. Now, I have introduced our team. I do want to make a quick mention here that we are going to be really focused on the check-in and outs of the system today. But if you are looking for any kind of support that we can provide you, we're always looking to assist you. So please take a look at our support center. You can find that handy orange button at any time on your director site. It's in the upper right-hand corner on that right-hand list of buttons on your system. It's available 24/7, 365 with a bunch of great step-by-step guides. Or you can contact our absolutely incredible support team. You can shoot us an email at support@recdesk.com or give us a phone call at 800-325-7391 for assistance. And I'll be sure to put that information here in the chat momentarily. With that said, thank you again so much for joining us today. I look forward to going through this material with you, and hopefully you take away some great nuggets of information to make the most of your RecDesk system. Now, with that said, I'm going to turn the screen over to Jen for the remainder of this presentation.
Thank you, Nick. All right, everyone. Welcome for joining today. So the first step for this new checkout feature is also going to help those of you who have asked us for the ability to restrict which facilities show on your check-in. So on your facilities tab within your facility build, so clicking on your facility, and then clicking edit on the facility info and scrolling down, we now have some new filters. You're going to be able to disable check-ins or disable checkouts per location. So for those of you who only use 3 places for checking in and checking out, just make sure those are turned on, and you can turn the others off. That'll make that drop-down list when you're checking in much shorter. Now, this checkout look-back period, this allows you to either show from midnight to current time or a custom period. To explain this, within the checkout, you're going to see very soon the ability to see a list of who has recently checked in. That look-back period is going to be based on what you select here for that facility. So for those of you who maybe only have people checking in and out within like an hour time span, you could always reduce this period of time. But please know you can only set it for up to 24 hours. I think that's 1,440 minutes. That is the maximum number you can set that for here. And once you have your facilities all set up for checking in, you have the option of an attended check-in or self-check-in. I'm going to show you an attended check-in first. This screen is going to let you choose your facility. So as I stated, if you only allow certain facilities to show up here, this list would be a much shorter list. You can decide whether you're going to enable program drop-in support. Now, this is a demo site, so I always leave this when I enable it to all facilities. Please know, though, you can restrict it to that specific location. as well as the time period in which the program is running. And you can also restrict by memberships, as well as some other defaults. Now I'm going to hide options so I don't have that big membership list showing. And right here, I can either scan members in, or I can type in their last name or their barcode number, and I can check them in. Now, during the check-in process, you're going to see the photo that is assigned to their profile, any tags that are assigned to them as well. So this is a great place if you need somebody to speak to a manager to put a tag on it saying, please see manager, as any of your attended check-in would be able to see that message and know to send them over to you. And some other basic profile information. And then you're going to be able to decide if you're going to drop them into a program or not. Now, remember, if you see that pre-registration is required, that means the person did not sign up for that program and they're not going to be able to check into it. So if you see the check-in program, it means they did sign up for those types of programs. And if you do select a drop-in fee for an amount, this will create an invoice and you can collect the payment at the time of checkout. Now I'm just going to use household credit for the purpose of expediting this. And then it's going to take you right back to the check-in screen. Now, I can click on Attended Checkout. Something to note really quickly. If you have staff who's checking people in and checking people out, if you have one dedicated computer for attended check-in and people check in and out at the same time, you may want to get a second device for the attended checkout, because otherwise they're going to have to flip back and forth between the attended check-in and attended checkout tab. Now, when they do switch, it will automatically pull the facility that I was just checking in on, as that's going to make it easier for me. And I can either just scan or look the person up, or if I scroll down, these are the people who have checked in that are part of my look back period. And I can either go right here and check somebody out, or I can check them out up here by either scanning or typing in their name and hitting checkout next to their name. Now, I don't believe that the noise is going to play over the Zoom meeting. However, it still makes that happy noise whenever there is a successful checkout. If there's a checkout that someone tries to make that isn't valid, maybe they didn't check in first, it will make that error noise that you may have heard if you use our check-in feature and you have any restrictions that lets you know that somebody doesn't meet those restrictions. Now, does anyone have any questions before I move on?
No, at the moment, Jen.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to get into some of the reporting aspects of this. And one of the things that I always like to go to first, and sometimes I cheat, I go through my attended check-in and I click here where it says see all facility check-ins. Now from here, I want to point out a few things. There have been updates here. As you can see, we do have that check-in time and date. We also now have a checkout column. If somebody has not been checked out, and let's just say it's from the day before or a few days ago, so this person was checked in on the 26th, but they did not check out, I can check out today to mark it as a completed checkout. So you can see they checked in here and checked out. Now, if I need to change that because he really left at 5 o'clock that day, I can now click on the details for that event, click edit, and you will be able to update the check-in date and time or the check-out date and time. Now, please keep in mind, check-ins can only be backdated. They cannot be made for the future. but you can set a checkout date to occur in the future. So for something like this, if it was just on the wrong day, I can come in here and I can change it to the 26th. And we'll change it to the time they checked out and click on Save. And that will update that person's information. Now, here's something to be aware of, because those of you, if you are curious, well, how do I know if a check-in has been changed or if a checkout time has been changed? If you click on the Details button, we will have an audit row that you'll see at the bottom. It's the history area. Any changes, it's going to tell you who made them, what the original values were, and what the new values are. And please note that only assistant directors and directors will be able to edit this part of the system and make changes to the check-ins. Now, before I get into the reporting, does anyone have any questions on that piece?
None at this time, Jen.
All right. So now when you guys click on actions here on the facility check-ins, now this is the same for any area that you're pulling the check-in details to Excel. You can download the check-in details and you will now see a check-in date, a checkout date, and time spent checked in. Now the time spent checked in is going to be in minutes. But you'll be able to export all this information to Excel. And get all the information that you need right here. For those who are wondering if there's an easy way to make the time go from minutes to hours, in another column, if you click equals, and then right next to it, click on that value. You can go ahead and you can get that value entered. Now, in order to drag it down, the safe way to make this, oops, that's the best way to find the value in hours. I'm sorry. And then you can drag the formula down. And then we also updated our reports tab, facility program check-in report. So I'm actually going to run this for a little while back now. And I'm going to select the show all details because I want to show you all the changes that have been made. Select my location and generate my report. So now my details are not only going to include the count for check-in, but I'm also going to see when people checked out as well. Now, do we have any other questions?
Nope, Jen, not at this time.
Awesome. Well, that's the new checkout feature and all the cool updates to the reports that we've made. Now, for those of you who may want to review this video later, or if you want to view any of the other PowerUps that we have available, right over on the right-hand side of your dashboard or anywhere else, you'll see this, when you're logged into Directory, you'll see this resource button. And you'll be able to select PowerUp and choose one of the most recent videos. Now keep in mind, see how this says search for help? It's going to help you search the support center right from here, or you can click here to go to our support center, click on here for any of our announcements, or click on latest release notes to see any of our newest features that we've released. And as Nick mentioned, the support center is right here. You can use the support center just by clicking on it, and it'll open up in another tab. And you can type in any questions that you have here. And if you would like videos, please know you can scroll all the way down to the bottom. our YouTube channel, is connected right here on the YouTube playlist, as well as a PowerUp article that'll have a playlist of all of our PowerUp videos.
Otherwise, I am not currently seeing anything. If you do have questions, please feel free to drop them here in the chat. We'd love to answer them for you. As Jen mentioned, I'm going to post a nice long message here in chat, but that's going to include the contact information for support and as well as our phone number, which you can reach out to us whichever method you prefer. So please keep putting in questions. These have been some really great ones. Let's see here. Yes, Zach, we do when we add you to a group for an enhancement list, you will receive a notification if that piece gets implemented for you. Our team does a really nice job of letting groups know when they are on that specific enhancement list. But yes, if you have any other questions, please feel free to drop them here in chat, as our checkout champion would love to answer them for you, I am sure.
We are going to keep this open still for a few more minutes. So if anyone else has any other questions or anything we'd like to bring up, please feel free to type that into the chat. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us today. And if any of your coworkers weren't able to join us, please know we'll get this video posted as soon as we can, and it'll be available shortly.